Welcome back to Important Library Stuff, a podcast where library staff share the inside scoop on all the stuff that happens at Prince William Public Libraries. And trust us, it's a lot of stuff. I'm your host, Emily Bickers, media specialist from the Office of Communications and Marketing, and I will be joined each episode by a fellow staff member who knows a lot more on each episode's topic than I do, which for this episode covers our assisted services and devices. So without further ado, let's learn together from the expert, Laura Lily Bell from Montclair Library, who was part of the staff work group that brought a lot of new assisted services and devices to the library system last year.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm excited.
Can you introduce yourself by sharing 3 books you love?
Sure. They're kind of weird, but the first one is The Stand by Stephen King because that's the first book that I remember really scaring me. I had to put it underneath my bed because I was so scared of it.
I'm impressed you were able to finish it. Now it's like one of your favorites.
Yeah, I read it all the way through, and that was a great one. The second is my friend actually wrote a book last year called The Duchess and the Accidental Thief by Scott A. Clark. And it's really awesome, just what came from his mind. It's like sci-fi and mystery and crime. It's really cool. And then the Babysitter's Club's books, because I remember a lot from them. Like that's one of the book series that stuck in my mind, you know, like the theme of wearing purple and, you know, the twins and all their houses. And I just remember a lot from that. So
is it comforting to come back to whenever you?
Yes. Like that's where they are.
Yeah.
That's where I left them. It's very cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
What does assistive services or assisted devices mean?
Well, I got a definition from the web, of course. Assistive devices are external devices that are designed, made, or adapted to assist a person to perform a particular task. Many people with disabilities depend on assistive devices to enable them to carry out daily activities and participate actively and productively in community life.
What kind of assisted devices are available at or through the library?
First, we have in every library, we have cane seats, which you can ask for at the circulation desk. Those are really helpful if there's a line and you really can't stand in line for a long amount of time. You can ask for the cane seat. It's right behind the desk. We also have mobility scooters in, I think, 2 of the libraries.
Bull Run and Chim Park have the mobility scooters.
Okay, great. And then we also at Montclair, we have a high contrast keyboard. We have page magnifiers, which a couple of them have LED lights built in. And then we also have talking books, the large print collection, and audio books.
So what are talking books? I haven't heard of those.
It's basically like an audiobook, but more guided. We actually have a digital standard player, which plays the digital talking books and audio files. It also has speed control without changing the pitch, and it's portable, equipped with a rechargeable battery and an electric cord. For the digital talking books, which are a particular kind of electronic book, the kind defined by and for people who are blind or otherwise print disabled to best meet their information access and reading needs. So you can check out the availability of the digital standard player at www.librarypoint.org/talking-books. You can also check the availability of Talking Books application forms at that same website, www.librarypoint.org/talking-books.
And the digital standard player is so helpful because it actually has tactile buttons you can use.
Exactly. And we can show you how to use it as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Why are these assisted devices important or useful?
So people can exist in this world without having to compromise their safety or having something be that much harder. They can help with communication, they can help with speech, they can help with hearing, mobility, and keeping people safe, and making sure that they're well taken care of, because we want every member of the library community to be taken care of and to feel like they can do the things, and no matter what their disability might be, we can help them no matter what.
They definitely help people access the library resources that they may not otherwise be able to.
Exactly.
Like, I really like the high contrast keyboard you mentioned.
And there's even a video on our website about how to use the high contrast keyboard. It's really easy to plug into any space. Please come to us and we will absolutely set it up for you. It's very easy.
Excellent. Do you have any success stories around the use of these assistive devices?
Well, I'll just mention my personal with my son. He has autism, or he lives with autism, and we have a follow-along reader that helps keep the word in place so you can read the next word without skipping ahead. And that has helped his reading so much. And even the light up magnifiers, as someone who's going through perimenopause and getting older and having to wear readers, sometimes readers aren't available, and using the magnifiers just helps so much with reading, even reading a menu or, reading the small textbooks. We have large print, but not all of our books are large print. So anything like that, we definitely need magnified. So
I find especially like most of magazines don't come in large print.
Exactly.
So yeah, they're so helpful there.
Exactly. The newspapers, the magazines, older texts absolutely helps with that, and especially with the light.
Yes. Do you see the assistive devices being used often?
Well, we have been keeping stats on them, and so far only the magnifiers have been lent out. But I think it's just people need to know about it. We need to get the word out that these things are available, that you can come to any of us in the library and we will be absolutely happy to help you set anything up. If you need workstations set up with the keyboard, and we are happy to help you with any accommodations you might need.
That's great to know. You mentioned some of them already. So besides the assistive devices, we also have some accessible formats of print materials.
Yeah, we have the Braille and large print or audiobooks for visually impaired, DVDs and streaming video with closed captions for deaf and hard hearing. Like I said before, the talking books. There's also, for the hard of hearing, you can give us a call on your TTY software by dialing 711. And there's even a video on our website that explains how to reach out to us. I know I've gotten quite a few calls with interpreters being the go-betweens, and we are happy to get those calls as well, because that means they're reaching out.
That's excellent. The TTY option is great because you can sometimes, because we have an email, which people who are hard of hearing can also use this to contact us, but you can get a quicker response.
Exactly.
Yeah, with TTY.
Exactly.
Are there any programs for patrons with diverse abilities?
Yeah, actually, we have a monthly adapted story time at Chim Park Library for children of all abilities and needs. Registration is required. And we also have monthly Building Buddies program at Haymarket Gainesville Library, where we are building friendships, networks, and fun for our diverse special needs communities. This program is all ages. Registration is required.
How can patrons request accommodations for library events and programs?
Sure. You can call our libraries, which all of the numbers are on our website as well, or email libcommunications@pwcgov.org 3 weeks in advance for sign language interpreting, for example, or any time to see what accommodations we might have.
Awesome. Why is it important that everyone feels welcome at the library and can use all of its books and resources?
I believe it's important because the library belongs to the community. Like, there would be no library without the community. So we want everyone to feel welcome. We can't say that we're fully inclusive unless we make the necessary changes and to actually include everyone. That means every type of disability that we can accommodate, we will accommodate. And we want the library to be a safe space for everyone, to make sure that it's accessible and there's no question as to the accessibility. Like, you don't have to wonder, do they have this? Can I do this? Can I do that? So, and if you give us a call, we can let you know what we have. And, we don't want anyone to ever feel excluded from the library.
Yeah. And I think also, like what you said, like, even if we may not have something, if someone has a suggestion of something we could add, that's really helpful too.
Exactly. You can email us, call us, like I said, and we'll check into it. That's what we do. Yeah. We research and check into things, and we are more than happy to do that.
Do you have any parting thoughts or tips?
Just please come out and check out what we have for yourself. We don't want anyone to ever be afraid to ask or feel uncomfortable asking. That's what we're there for. We're there to accommodate and have everyone's library experience be the same and be safe and, comforting and as easy as possible, to make things easier on everyone. That's what the library should be. We love to help. That's what librarians do.
So as I mentioned before, we do have an Assisted Services webpage on our website, which is really useful. It has some of the videos that Laura mentioned. It has all of the links to the emails and a more thorough breakdown of everything that our libraries have to offer. And you can access that by visiting pwcva.gov/library and click on Assisted Services under the Services heading. On the mental health side, I wanted to also mention that we have SAD lamps available to check out. A popular treatment for seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is using an SAD lamp, which mimics sunlight and can trigger the body to release serotonin. You can search SAD lamp on our catalog and place a hold for one. Also on our website, in order to register for the awesome events, you can find our online events calendar and see all the programs that we have available. So thank you so much, Laura, for answering all my questions.
Thank you. I enjoyed it very much.
If our listeners have questions, we'd love to answer them on a future Ask Librarian episode. Just record your question as an audio file, or feel free to just write it in text, mentioning your first name and home branch, and email it to libcommunications@pwcgov.org. I will close us out with a quote from the book referenced in the episode title, Life of Pi by Jan Martel. "It is true that those we meet can change us, sometimes so profoundly that we are not the same afterwards, even unto our names." Thanks for listening, and join us in 2 weeks for the next episode of Important Library Stuff.